Let's take a look at this. Says it's fine. Hey, what's going on, Ron? How you doing today? And there we go. Just been chilling, man. Keeping busy. Don't want to do y'all district. Getting some stuff done for this trip I have planned this summer. And since I got at least one part of it done, I figured I would hold true to what I said and hop on and knock out this next 3 hours. And then I'm probably gonna get some cleaning done. Maybe turn on a game. I kind of want to make some grilled cinnamon pineapple as like a little snack to have over the next week. Damn, got me twice. No, I'm not doing too bad. Damn it. Got the heal off. Didn't heal himself though, so that works, I guess. It should be, man. I'm planning to go back to Europe for the first time in like a long time. So I will be gone. Bless me, sorry. No, it's gonna be London, Paris, Berlin, and then back to London. I was thinking about going to Spain and Italy again, but I figure I'll be able to do that next year. So like, I'm gonna be gone about 2.5, 3 weeks, and the reason I'm going is, yeah, I've never been to any of those yet, but like France has the Olympics next year, Germany has the Euros next year, and they're back to back, except for like 2 weeks to separate them. So I'm like, all right, well, I definitely want to see that. So let me go this year kind of get the feel of it, and that way, like when I go next year, I already have an idea of where stuff is and how to move around and whatnot. So I'm not like trying to figure that out while while like a million other people are around there. And hopefully it didn't just drop the stream. It did for a second earlier. And it seems to be fine. Yeah, I really want to check out Oktoberfest, but it's just not like lining up quite right. So I'm gonna be gone like July 1st through the 19th. Alright, sorry, let me rephrase. I'll be flying into New York on the 3rd, but I could move that to the 1st, and then I'll be in London on the 4th, and then I won't get back to New York until the 14th. And I'm getting over there by myself, but like a group of other people are going as well. So it's kind of gonna be doing like a group travel. So the idea is, and it's kind of a fortuitous sequence of events or serendipity or whatever you want to call it. So like, whatchamacallit, TwitchCon is in Paris, which I'm not really overly concerned with. But since I am technically an affiliate, the way I look at it is, if I buy a ticket to TwitchCon and go to and whatnot, I can try to potentially write off a decent portion of like the trip as a whole as a tax write-off, like for like self-employed income or whatever, or self-employed expenses as far as that goes. So I'm like, I wanted to go all those places anyways. This is kind of a good opportunity to do it, and then if it doesn't work out, then I'm fine with like what I paid because I didn't go too crazy thus far. And if it does, then so much better. Then I get like 20-30% or whatever of my money back. And yeah, I've had to go both ways. Like, I'll travel with friends, and it's been like, yo, this has been a great experience, and I'll travel with them several times. Then I did the whole study abroad thing, that worked out great, obviously. But then I've also traveled with like friends, and it was kind of a thing where once you add more people to the group, it can be it can be more up in the air. Because like, for my part, I like to go out and do stuff like, I like to try local food. I like to see like whatever makes that place unique. And obviously I like to go out, so I like to do all of that. So it does irritate me when I've traveled before and gone somewhere with people where like they don't want to try anything. Like they'll even ask for similar food. Like I had taken a trip to LA like years ago and went with one of my boys and his friends from his hometown back in Austin. And one of the dudes was just like kind of quietly complaining. Like we would go out and he would to go yeah, stuff like that. Like we went out to eat like brunch or whatever at some place that was like decently recommended on Yelp or Google or something like that. And he was like, yo, do you guys have breakfast burritos? And I'm like, bro, we just came from Texas where you can get a breakfast burrito. Like, try some shit that's here. Like, did you really fly all the way here to like not do shit? Because that's a lot of money to just like toss away like that. So, I figured out, yeah, it's pretty much like as long as I like talk with some of the people beforehand, and they're like, yeah, I'm pretty much down to try whatever, then I find it tends to work out. Well, as far as that goes, the good thing is it seems like a bunch of people that are congregating have already bought like their stuff and showed it, and I bought some of the trip like alongside somebody. So like I highly doubt they're fake because it was kind of pricey. Man, those kind of dry, but I mean, if it happens, then I'm like, hey, that is your money to burn. So, yo, what's going on, Hala? How's your wrist? And what did the doctor say about it? And you're going to Antarctica. The hell you going to Antarctica for? Yeah. Well, we can check to see if the bridge is up yet. Ah, gotcha. Well, that's as good a reason as any. Hey, Salala, how are you doing? Ooh. If the swelling increased, that might be a break. I don't know if swelling continues to increase when it's a sprain. Does it? True. Actually, no, yeah, that's true. I wasn't even thinking about a sprained ankle. I think I went too far. Damn darts. Ah, you did 0 damage, you bitch. Oh, so the whole hand is swollen? No. Actually, I should have kept going, but let me go ahead and see if I can just take the cannon. This is the back of the palm near the knuckles. Hopefully you get that checked out. I don't know if you can get it checked out tomorrow, would it be in a President's Day, but Tuesday at the latest? Still have full range of motion, that's good. Yeah, back in the 80s for like the next week. Or high 60s to the 80s. Summer's probably going to be brutal. Again, that basically first day of summer shine at this point. That's the other reason why I was like, I need to get out of here for a little while during the summer. Like, it's just, like, I don't care what nobody say, bro. It's getting freaking hotter. Like, it is most definitely hotter than it was like a decade ago, and now it's hotter than it was a decade before that. And I need to open up a spot in my bag. Yeah, dude. Like, last year I went up to Chicago and Memorial Day weekend, and it felt so freaking good to like not deal with that brutal heat here for like a few days. Just sitting there by a lakeside, like it doesn't matter much if it's quote unquote cheaper to live here, if for like a half the year you don't want to be outside because it's too damn hot. And more than half the year at this point, it's 2/3 of the year. Like, you just, okay, your house is cheaper, again, quote unquote, but you also spend all your time inside because being outside is just not worth it. Oh, easily. Yeah, I think there was some point last year my shit was like $400. This is Seiken Densetsu 3. So it's if you saw that Charles of Mana game, the remake that came out, the 3D one that came out like a couple years ago, this is what that was based off of. And it's actually like an extremely faithful recreation. The only things they really added, they added some post game, they added some more like individual skills with your level up points. But by and large, it's actually pretty close to 1-to-1. Yeah, dude, that's the other thing where it's like a lot of people in Europe get it because they're dealing with those kind of bills. Well, like everybody thinks Texas is cheap simply because like the price of a house is cheaper up front than um, like other places, and because there's no state tax. And I'm like, when you start factoring in all the other stuff, like you will realize it is just as freaking expensive. Oh, yep, bridge still out. It's just as expensive and you don't get paid as much. Uh huh. Well, the other thing I always say is like, ooh, yeah, the property taxes. Like, what is it? 2.5% now. So that's damn near $30,000. You're paying post income. Well, the other thing also hollow is I'm not sure where you are, and you don't have to say obviously, but it's like if you come from a place with public transportation, usually it's subsidized fairly well to where you don't have to like pay that much for it. People might complain about, oh, like the metro costs $100 $100 a week or something like that. So you have to have a car to live in Texas. Like it, especially like in the metro areas, you have to have a car because it's hella expensive to live like near a business that's gonna pay you enough to live there. So the whole state income tax thing that people think isn't a thing here actually is. It's just called the car you have to have, and then you have to have maintenance, registration. A lot of the roads are trash. You're paying a lot of gas because you're driving all the time. So maintenance comes around quicker. You have to replace tires quicker. Like Texas doesn't hit you up front with shit, but it nickel and dimes the hell out of you. And then you have the added thing of like the normal ways people might see to like reduce their cost of living burden is like, oh, I'll try and like grow fruits or vegetables at home. Can't do that really here. I mean, you might could get away with some things that would be like fall vegetables in the north. You can try to grow winter here, but we have the occasional freeze, so that can ruin them. But for like effectively 7 months out of the year, you really can't grow anything because it's just gonna fry. Even the smaller cities here, if they have something that, in particular about them, they're starting to get expensive too. Like there's a town called Midland, Odessa, that's west of here. It's an oil town. Nothing to do out there but that. Literally nothing. It's like middle of nowhere. And a house there costs about as much as it costs in Fort Worth, where I am, on average. Or the median price, I should say. And this is the Woodland one. Yep. So, like, a lot of people aren't used to. It's kind of the same way that, like, when you talk to European people, they have a hard time realizing and conceptualizing, like, how big the U.S. actually is. And I've had, like, that discussion before with people. I mean, I got brought here when I was a kid, and then it's like. It's kind of hard to move out just because, like, the amount you're making relative to other places, you have to save up for a while to be able to do so. Because, like, before I started at my current job in financial regulation, my boy that moved to New York was like, "Hey, do you want to come with me?" And my girl split this place. Room cost like $1,600 a month for a room. At the time, this was 2018. That's like a pretty nice apartment in Dallas or Houston, and a decent apartment in Austin. So I do intend on moving, but it's like, and ideally moving this year, but it's like you gotta take some time to save up shit. And even then, like, the cost of a house is such to where, like, I can put a down payment on a house myself right now here. But if we're talking about like 20% and somewhere else, it's like, nope, can't afford that shit. Yeah, just cause like, mostly cause like, just as people have kids, they like don't get out as much. And if you're moving without kids, it's harder to break into like social groups somewhere else if you don't know people there. Oh, what's up, Splice? How you doing today? When can I just like? I can do that. Okay, cool. I thought I had to keep leaving the menu. That makes it so much faster. I'm about to say, it seems rather weird that they didn't make a faster way to do that. I can relate, lady. You're just talking about that. Yep. Well, there's another problem that's been going on as well. And it's starting to spread nationwide, I think. But I know in Texas it's a thing. Yeah, I can show you really fast. Have you guys heard of these like rental house communities? What up, Ghost? Oh yeah, let me show you what I'm talking about then. Hold on just a second. Move this over here. Alright, so this is what is currently going on. This is a rental home community. Let me and it's like St. Louisville, Texas. And there's some other ones that are popping up, but it's a house that's entirely for rent. It's never to be owned. And oh, it is Word, the one that's in Louisville. And the prices even came down a bit because this is literally like $400 more. Excuse me, like a month ago. It's actually I used to live in that area off of what's it, Corporate and Southwest. I used to live over there off 121B. So this is a trippy thing that we're like starting to see come up lately around here. Is these rental home communities, and where was that? Like the unfortunate thing is like people have this desperation to get out of apartments, so much so that they're like shooting themselves in the foot. What's that? Oak Bend and 35. There's that. No, it's not that far north. What was that again? Yeah, 35 121. Should be right here. Let's see. Right here, it's right there. I don't know what I can find Oakland. It's a smaller street than it appears. So like it doesn't want to let me look at it. Oh, that's why. Hey, how finicky that is. Interesting. It's still not letting me do it. Huh. Oh, we can look at it like this then. So this is this neighborhood it's talking about. And these are relatively normal looking houses. Like for this area. But the thing is, even this and you don't realize how small 2,600 or sorry 1,400 square feet is until you're actually in it. That's like a decently sized apartment. But when you're talking about like going into a house, it's kind of a small house. I'll say like a decent sized house is closer to here. Yeah, like it's not really that's not really a whole lot of house, but they're paying double square footage. And the thing is, a house, 1,400 square foot house. To be fair, those are oh well, not to be fair, but those are getting overinflated too. But even at like, if you're paying let's say 325,000 for it, your mortgage would still only be like half of that price. So you'd be paying about 13. Well, you'd be paying about 1,100 to $1,200 for something like this off a mortgage rather than a renting. And even still, like I said this one was like $3,100 before they changed it. I guess in the last month or so. And the thing is, that's these are year-long leases, I believe that you have to do, like year-long or 13 month or something like that. And you have to go back and consider like yo, you're paying $36,000 to never own that shit. And maybe it's easier if you're like, yeah, yeah, I know. Like this actually, the first time I saw like looked at this one, it didn't even have like this range. I just had to guess because it had this as a range of like 2.5 to 3, and then this was a range of like 3.5 to 4. Or sorry, this was 2.5 to 3. So was this. So I was like 2.5 to 3 times the square footage as the listed like range. So I was like, all right, if they're talking 3 times the square footage, are you really telling me they're trying to charge 5,100 for this? Because that's the range that you're talking about. You had for these two like visible. It's like it's an average ass area. It's a suburb. Like you are. It's this is that area. You have this big ass tower, like right there, and I'll say like the neighborhood itself. Like this whole little neighborhood. These 3 streets is it's an average enough suburban neighborhood here, except for the fact that like the houses don't run on top of each other. Because look at your backyard. Like bro, your neighbor is like at worst. This is where the end of your fence should be. At worst, and now the person just right there looking at you. But like as far as the area, it's average, honestly. Like you're close to Louisville Lake, which is all right. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Teddy? Like you're close to Louisville Lake, but it's a brackish lake. It's not like it's a super clear one. Grapevine Lake isn't far, but like if you're trying to go out in Dallas and do stuff, not that it's like super great. Dallas is probably 25, 30-minute drive from here. Other like going out area is closer over here in shops at Legacy, but it's also pricier. And then like the other major area, there's some stuff to do here, but like major area of congregation is over here, and obviously that's like a lot further. The biggest benefit you have, honestly, is that if you travel a lot, you're right next to the airport. Yeah, exactly what Ren said. So it's like it's very obviously not worth that. But that's how elevated the prices are getting here. Because I've seen a sign for like a house that was 1,400 square feet. The hell is that? I seen the thing for a house that was 1,400 square feet. And they were asking for like $3,500, or sorry, 350, something like that. That makes sense. Frisco's also like so. Frisco he's talking about is over in this area, but Frisco is also going to be pricey because you have the Colony, which my friend had dubbed like the cougar capital of the area, and he wasn't wrong. Like this whole area here is like, well, really, I need to say this whole area is like money area. So these houses are going to cost a lot, especially Plano at one point was like one of the most expensive places to buy a house per capita in the U.S. like a decade ago or something like that. And again, like it all sounds. I mean, Plano is a good school district. I would say Louisville's probably average. And it all sounds all really good, but like all this competition is to try to like set Dallas up to be equivalent to New York and LA, and it doesn't have that amount of stuff to offer. I can see East Plano being alright because you're over here getting into like Parker and Murphy. Like West Plano, West Plano's here, so they're definitely gonna be asking for a whole lot of money. And then was it Sunville over here? Here's Saxy. I swear Sunville's like right over here somewhere. All right, so that's one place. What is it? So this is another place, and we'll do it in maps, and we'll do it here. You can kind of see it, but I went there on a bit of an excursion like a couple of weeks ago, so I'll show you some pictures. So another area of like homes to rent, quote unquote homes, and it has some regular neighborhoods right on the border of it. And I don't know. I guess it's because I'm streaming. It's not letting me do that, which is I find interesting. $1,500 to $2,400. Get rid of this, and I can absolutely tell you, from what I gleaned, no, not at all. Not even close. It's just, it's something that's becoming more prevalent here is basically houses that are built to be rented as opposed to being owned. Yeah, up to 1,900, 3,000. Yeah, yeah. Well, hold on. Let me show these pictures I took, and it's in the Discord, but I'll just go straight to. Okay, yeah, I can go straight to the. I can go straight to the picture, so hopefully it won't be too much of a thing. So this is like a row of these places. Like they're built right on top of each other. And it looks like an apartment complex. Yeah, exactly. It's basically a one-level apartment complex. But because they decided not to build it higher, they're basically charging a premium for it. Because if they built it to be a 3 or 4 story place, they can't reasonably ask you to pay up to $3,000 for that out there. And let me also show you what I mean, or what we mean when we say out there. So it's right here. Like, you are on the interstate, out of the state, honestly. Like, there is nothing out here but farmland. That place that we showed earlier was over here. Like, you are, the closest thing you have is Texas Motor Speedway, which is intentionally built out here to be far away from stuff. So again, it's asking for $3,000 a month in rent for a 3-bed, 2-bath. And part of the issue is, yeah. And that's also the thing is, and you're talking about up to $36,000 post tax that you're paying for that. Like, and obviously a 3-bed, 2-bath, you would assume would be at least a couple with like a kid or something like that. Maybe a couple that doesn't get into any kind of arguments or anything might be willing to do this. But I would imagine most people will at least want like this. And let's split the difference. What was it? It says 1902, but really it's a little bit about that. Oh yeah, there is one for 1902. So let's say 2000. Yeah, I would imagine most people want like their own kind of play area. So let's say 2000, and you're paying $24,000, but I'm gonna say the median household income here is like a little below 70. It's like 65, 67, somewhere in that range. I don't think it's past 70 yet. And more likely than not, if you're living this far out here, unless you're doing something specialized, you're probably not quite at that range. So you're paying about of your a third of your gross for that, and you could be in the mortgage for, especially the size of those, for half the price. It's wild. The problem is that I've seen some projection that say like 10% of the homes built, I guess, over the next few years are going to be rental homes. So like, there's a project JP Morgan Chase has with Haven Realty. This is over in Atlanta. $1 billion project, hundreds of rental homes. 3,500 rental homes, I believe, is the actual number, because the median is about 400,000 in Atlanta. So when you take like basically 3,000 houses off the market and make them into a permanent asset versus a shelter, it's a very large problem, because you're also reducing the amount of available space for a permanent shelter, or as permanent as you can get with the whole property tax issue, depending on your state. So, a lot of issues that are mutating even around the housing market. And it's already kind of been happening, but I think it's going to accelerate, where like your third and fourth tier cities are going to start seeing a whole lot of growth. So like Nashville, I would say that classifies as kind of in that third, fourth tier range. Because Dallas, I would say, is like second tier. First tier would be like, I'd say first tier is like New York, LA, San Francisco, Miami. Chicago's on that border. DC is on that border. Austin, I'll put up there at this point. Houston is on that border. Dallas, I would say, is a second tier city. Like Dallas, Seattle, Portland. But yeah, places like Nashville, Memphis, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, kind of in that border range. Phoenix has been elevating quickly. They've all been seeing a whole lot of growth in their price of a home, and that's why, because like people are jumping ship from Cali, New York to come here. People here are going to start jumping ship, and they have to go somewhere else. Obviously, they can't just easily upgrade, quote unquote, into something that's a higher cost. So that's kind of the issue. I haven't been to OKC in like a long ass time, but I looked it up on Zillow. It was like something that was cheaper than here, but was like way bigger and more affordable. It was like 300,000, 4 bed, 3 bath. Yeah, that's like 2,600 square feet. Like, look at the size of this shit. And they cut price. And yeah, 5.3, damn, foreclosure, that sucks. But a 5.3, 3,000 square feet, like, is, I think cities like Dallas are gonna have an issue as you get like this work from home environment, because it doesn't have the same draw as like the same natural draw as like your San Francisco or Miami or what have you. Like the draw of Dallas primarily is some level, a certain level of entertainment relative to a large city, even though it's kind of a large town masquerading as a large city. But there's a certain level of entertainment you would expect that Dallas can mostly provide. But when you get past that, it craters a lot because it doesn't have that depth of it. It just has like the superficial level. So when somebody's paying 3 or 3.45 for half this size, I'm like, at some point people are going to be like, you know, when I work from home, screw Dallas. I'm going to go buy a house up here. And if I have to go to Dallas like once a week or once a month or whatever, I'll do that. Like, I'll do that drive because this is like 4 hours. So kind of long. I'm not saying it's short. I mean, come to that, you can even see if you can just take a plane, honestly, into like Love Field and then take an Uber. But yeah, like when you start competing with places that actually have the space, I think Dallas is going to find itself struggling. So what it's been doing is it's been focusing on people that are not from here. It's focusing on like getting people from LA and New York to come here. Because otherwise they can't justify those price increases. And what's his face? The mayor of Dallas was saying that, oh yeah, I think Dallas can support another football team. Yeah, housing absolutely shouldn't be a commodity. I'm not saying that if you have the means and if you're like an individual person and you have a house or two and you rent one out, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to do that, but it should not be an asset class that investment companies are buying into. Because normal consumers, regular people, cannot keep up. And because those companies are so well capitalized, they can afford to sit on those for a while, for a long time, longer than you can keep up as an individual person. Like it would take all but like basically a collapse, kind of like what happened in 2007, 2008 to like force the hand, which is kind of what I'll lean towards being a possibility, just because like there's too many companies dipping their toe into that water, and eventually people are gonna be like, once they catch on, they're gonna be like, screw that, I'll just stay in an apartment, because you can only raise an apartment so much year to year, or you're gonna have an issue, which I think is also a high likelihood because of all the other costs of living in the U.S., especially around education. That you'll find people that have the means to do so like, so your middle class and upper middle class start looking to go to European countries because they're like, all right, the education is roughly the same, but that's subsidized through the country to a degree. At this point, the housing differences are starting to become negligible. So long term, it's like, if I'm having kids, where do I give them the best shot? Yeah, that sounds like Baltimore, right? I don't think you should necessarily maintain like a whole ass living off of just building or owning a bunch of homes and renting. But if you like come up, you bought your starter home, you moved to a bigger one because your family or whatever, and you still kept the starter home, and you rented that out for a while, and then maybe once your family is like grown up, moved on, you move back to the starter home and then rented out the bigger one for a while, like, or even if you somehow acquired a third, like a lake house or something like that, I'm like, that's fine to me. That's there's obviously like some financial. I say there's probably some amount of financial. What's the word I'm looking for? A higher level of financial knowledge and ability to apply that knowledge in that case, but it's still not like you're doing something that's wholesale exploitative. These these build communities, house to rent communities, that's exploitation to me. Well, and you shouldn't like it should be a mutually like beneficial thing. Like most like interactions should be. It's hey, I have this place. I'm not ready to sell it for whatever reason, sentimentality or what have you. Like, I'm gonna rent it out to somebody that's gonna take care of it. Cool, you have a nice place. I would like to rent it out at like a reasonable price. And we're definitely treading beyond the pale. I mean, that works. But that goes back to what we had like talked about before, the whole like sense of community and increasing lack thereof. I do not know how I get to that dude. Oh, just like that. All right. Oh, you just out here grubbing, huh, Ron? Let me save it while I'm here before I forget. Oh, dope. I'll take that free room. I didn't even know there's like a whole subculture of TikTok that has landlords, but I shouldn't be surprised. I'm also not on TikTok like that though, or really at all. Like I'll occasionally look at something if it gets shared to me, but other than that, Not especially. Let me go ahead and buy some more walnuts. That'll do. Doesn't look like there are any new people around. Oh yeah, there's a whole like thing about that these days. Oh my fence fell down when we had like a windstorm, and I was talking about it with my neighbor, and they're kind of in that situation where they have a landlord that's like doesn't let them do anything. I think they said they were from like somewhere up north, and they just come down here, so they've only been here for like 2 years. I was like, I mean, it's a nice area. Like, if you have young enough kids, like it's one of the better school districts in the area and overall in Texas. So I was like, yo, just like look north, like right off of this road that goes outside the neighborhood. There's some I see for sale signs like a lot. So like definitely search around. You just need to get out to like bars and whatnot. I'd say probably the prime time to do that was like last year when people really were like ready to get out during the summer. Now it's kind of like even out a bit. Let's see what's this way. I see they're doing a decent amount of damage in this area. Guess I can't go this way. That's nice. Wait. Shouldn't even be an enemy here. Oh. Y'all getting y'all asses kicked. I will say social media is definitely like disturbed the whole natural interaction of humans. And people probably need to work on mitigating it more. Unless they have a cause for it. And even then, probably should still work on mitigation. Oh, damn. That's a lot of damage. Hey, what's going on, Techie? And thanks for throwing in on the goal, Techie. let's see what's down. How did Fallout finish treating you, Tucky? Angela needs it more. I'm definitely getting my ass kicked over here. Whew. You just missed us bitching about houses, Techie. Or housing, I should say. Oh, and then this is a dead end. Over here it should be. Oh no, this is Lucy back around. Damn, them ducks do a lot of damage. Well, that's like the whole reason behind me doing this is and people didn't want to talk about it. You bitch. Really? We're gonna just have a little healing match? And you're gonna... Like, I get to... People might not like to talk about it in their streams, so that's why I was like, I enjoy it. In fact, I invite the conversation, so... Excuse me. And sorry if you can hear me. I'm munching on some chips to kind of help me stay awake. Because for some reason, just sitting in a chair like this makes me want to just go right to sleep. Nah. Nah, you good, fam. You don't need to see that. No, nobody need to see that. Oh, word. I don't know if you heard, Teddy, but this is America. This is not a democracy. I think that way is to... What's this way? This to the fortress? Vitality's been pretty decent. But we're also now ready to upgrade our classes, so it doesn't really matter because all the stats are going to become max for this class with the upgrade. Now we just need to find a mana stone for that. So we're a pretty good pace. I didn't realize I raised spirit on her so much. Excuse me. Oh, the golden bluet. Yeah, I think we're at the fortress. Damn, even Lease is only doing 3 damage? We're about an hour and a half in, so I'll probably take a break once we get to an hour and a half and throw on the hell are you doing, Carla? Throw on the ads just to get those out the way, because I honestly don't even know if they've been running. I haven't been keeping track. Oh, they're not on screen, that's why. I was like, why can I not? Yeah, so yeah, that way, and this way. These unicorn ads. Ooh. How is this bird still alive? Alright. Hour and a half in. Carly is almost leveled. So I'm going to take a quick break. You get them apple chips from Costco too? Let's try. I need to do this. Too long. There you go. That works. Alright, I'm back in a few minutes. Not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. The Chronicle searches these engraved histories for a pen that will rewrite them. You deserve to be indulged. It falls to thee to become Tire's master and carve a path towards the future. Or at least it holds the settings, so that's good. I wonder if I can. The sand engulfed everything. And it'll probably be a little bit before we get to a narration. Well, it'll be after this battle, so it shouldn't be too long. If you want to do a raid message, well, this here we're raiding. Right, spelled it right. Here, the shout out to Saki. Losing legs. Losing legs. Losing legs. You say fuck you? Asshole says fuck you. I'm not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. And nobody better clip that shit out of context, because you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna take a nice steak and then fuck it up. Well, what do you mean when you say burning your steak, Scotty? Because there's burning, there's what Ashley does, which is an abomination and a travesty and a mockery. And then there's normal burning of stuff. So Marvin, Rita, and that's a position, I guess. Yes. Straight up ass up. I'm not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. And I can't leave. Damn, this dude's still ass up. Seriously, and he even spreading it now. Look at that. You got the whole Thanos pose and everything going on in this. And if you look at the portraits, you see the character portraits even change like basically after they get killed off in either battle or a cutscene. So if you look at how the rider looks now, and then after this happens, look at his portrait again. They did put in little touches like that with the game. And it'll probably be a little bit before we get to a narration. Well, it'll be after this battle, so it shouldn't be too long. Well, what do you mean when you say burning your stakes, Cody? Because there's burning, there's what Ashley does, which is an abomination, and a travesty, and a mockery. And then there's normal burning of stuff. And if you look at the portraits, you see the character portraits even change like basically after they get killed off in either battle or a cutscene. So if you look at how the rider looks now, and then after this happens, look at his portrait again. They did put in little touches like that with the game. Losing legs. Losing legs. Losing legs. You say fuck you? Asshole says fuck you. And I can't leave. Damn, this dude still ass up? Seriously? And he even spreading it now? Look at that. You got the whole Thanos pose and everything going on in this. If you want to do a raid message, well, this here we're raiding. Right, spell it right. Give a shout out to Saki. So Marvin, Rita, and that's a position, I guess. Yes. Straight up ass up. I'm not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. And nobody better clip that shit out of context, because you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna take a nice steak and then fuck it up. The Chronicle searches these engraved histories for a pen that will rewrite them. You deserve to be indulged. It falls to thee to become Time's master and carve a path towards the future. Or at least it holds the settings, so that's good. I wonder if I can... The sand engulfed everything. if you want to do a raid message, well, this here we're raiding. Right, spell it right. Give a shout out to Saki. Losing legs. Losing legs. Losing legs. You say fuck you? Asshole says fuck you. So Marvin, Rita, and that's a position, I guess. Yes. Straight up ass up. I'm not gonna waste good. I'm not gonna waste the good meat, Ashley. I'm sorry. Sorry for the delay. I say, where is my controller? I don't know about all that. Ain't no 5-course meals around here. Alright, now what's down here? Yeah. No, no, no. Oh, damn it. I probably will do some light cooking today, though. Just make some more rice. Or maybe I'll make a chow mein, because I have some celery I need to use. So I'll use some celery, onion, carrot. I do want to get out to the store and get a whole bunch of chicken thighs and chicken breasts and throw those in the freezer since they're $177 right now. Mm-hmm. I just kind of stumbled into this one. Before I start casting spells on him, let me do some healing. And he just out the gate with it. Dang it. Get a little separation here. Let's try a holy spell. Let's see if he does counters. He does counter. And it barely does any damage. This is gonna be a bitch of a fool. I'm just gonna have to jump this dude. Keep his eyes in the corner. Jump him. That is one thing that I am not over fond of in this game, is that they tend to program bosses to where if you use any of your advanced abilities, they counterattack you. So spells, level 2 and 3 techs. So it reduces a lot of fights to just melee fest. And that's not the best way to program it when there's a heavy magic component with some of your characters. Oh, hey, what's going on, Tipper? How you been? I'm assuming Delilah told you about that. Ooh. What is... Nope. And I got a shadow die for my trouble. That's dope. Bro. Finally, damn. Yeah, that's a death. Jeez. Oh, that was an ordeal. Let me... Got any more Angel Grail? Not I need to buy some. I need to buy some. Yeah, mic is on. Since we're here, now I need to figure out what classes I'm going to need. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's not bad. Alright, so it looks like I'm probably gonna go light dark. Oh no. Hmm. Because really only Angela uses intelligence for attacking or for her magic. So I don't need to really multi-target. Plus the silence actually would work a bit better. So I think, yeah, I'll go light dark with Elise. Oh, it looks like light, dark, light, light. No, I kind of want to go dark, dark here. And sabers will supplement to a degree. But I really need her doing that. Hey, I've already played this before, but I have to figure out which classes make the most sense for synergy, and it looks like it's going to be light, light. The light classes across the board, and then I don't know. Well, I guess I can just save it in another slot. Oh, can't go that way yet. So light classes across the board, and then Angela goes dark on the turn. Alright. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I didn't even see the staircase at first. Alright, that leads to a fight, and where does this go? Oh, I just can't go that way anyways. Alright, that's fine. Why does this look so weird? Like, I should be able to go somewhere. Nice to have an ice spell, but unfortunately the way it works is you can't... I was gonna say, I guess I can't cast spells either. What the hell? Why can I not access it? Oh, I'm tripping. I was like, I forgot I had her set on items. I was like, why can I not see her item, her spells? Oh, you son of a bitch. Does he counter with... If he countered with Shadow Dive, I am not going to be thrilled. Or at least he doesn't counter. He just casts Water Jutsu. That's great. They're already complete ass attack power. You should have just enough time to get to the stone, level up, or class up, and then get out of the area. Now we need 3 hours for today. It takes a lot more than that. Healing when you're already dead is pretty annoying. Here's the save point too. Fortunately, I did promise I need 3 hours, so still got 45 minutes to go. Not that weak, so she can just pop up and walk off. And there goes Bill and Ben. Oh, them dudes is dead. Dead. A little bit hot-headed, I see. That's one thing they changed in the remake. And you can go back and change your classes later, which is obviously extremely handy. Yeah. So that's the thing, it is possible to beat the game with any combination. But there is definitely some that have better synergy. And it's not so much that you'll like get soft locked or beginning a dead game, but you can just make it way harder than it needs to be. You end up having to do like extra grinding just to get your stats up close to max and get like the extra HP and MP. Hey. Test as much as you need to, Max. Would you get in a car that only had 29 tests before they sold it to you? I think I only had the 3 slots, yeah. The benefit I did not mention is, I'll show it after this fight's over. So one benefit you have of, besides new character portraits, obviously, one benefit you have of classing up is the numbers you see here, strength, agility, vitality, all that, that's the maximum you can get in the previous class. Obviously, I didn't put all the points into that because I only got to level 18 from level 1. So it's actually like you get all, it maxes all of that up from the max of the previous class. So that is actually very beneficial. Early access, call it whatever you like. So we automatically start doing more damage based off of just having our stats raised from the class change. And taking less damage because we have vitality increases, which is very useful with this team. Thank you, because I wouldn't need to replace those. Ooh. We'll see how long this testing phase lasts after Paris. Unfortunately, we do not have Flamey yet, so we gotta make our way all the way back through that big ass maze. That's nice. Nope, wrong button. Tell you, Max, that we got so we got the travel to Paris set from London, and we got the ticket to Berlin as well. Is that just a stat up item? I guess that's just a stat up item. Yeah, I think we ended up choosing Berlin because, like, going to see the Berlin Wall and whatnot. What the hell is that item then? Seriously, what the hell is that item? Oh, here it is, Fire Lizard Fang. That's just a use item. Yeah, let's see what it does. You might have to DM that to me. But I'm sure, like, we're going to be there for 3 full days. Because we're leaving Paris the 11th and we're leaving Berlin on the 15th. Oh, it's just an attack item. I think we arrive at like... Oh yeah, that's much easier. We arrive at like 7 or 8 at night to Berlin. Oh yeah, I'll take it out. Thank you. We don't have the flight. The only thing we don't have, that threw me off for a second. Only thing we don't have locked in thus far is the hotel for the 2 legs in London and the one in Berlin, and then the flight from Berlin to London. We haven't locked those in yet, but we're gonna wait like next month and probably do those, just because we already just committed a whole bunch of money. And I know for the for both at least the first leg of London and for Berlin, we're gonna have to get hotels to have late check-in. Yeah, the prices were like $150 or so. So it's like we could get it now, but I was just like, look, we'll just... Oh, I forgot we have our level 2s. I was like, well, chill. We can actually like look at these even like next week on Tuesday or whatever and kind of price it out over time. It's this way. But thankfully, the good thing is like we're both bringing one carry on and one check just to like also be able to bring stuff back. I think especially for me. So that's definitely the benefit with the trains is that like that's all included with the train, so it keeps it cost effective. And okay. anyways, it keeps it cost effective, especially when you factor in like having to arrive at the airport because it still is international travel. Um, like 2 hours ahead of time, or sorry, 2.5 to 3 hours ahead of time, and then having to deal with like, oh well, hopefully they don't lose luggage because we're going to be somewhere else in like a few days. Ooh, that was a fatty hill. Thank you for that. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. Slow your roll and heal that up. And I'm thinking about extending like my New York stay because as of now, I get to New York on the third, and then leave for London at like 7:55 in the morning the next day, which is a little bit tight. And I'm kind of like, well, if I'm already gonna be planning on being there, I might as well like make it through the weekend. That'll bring the price of, incidentally, it'll bring the price of getting to Paris back into like that $1,500 range. But at least it's not the same as like, oh, direct flight $1,600, and that's all you get. It's like, no, I'm taking 3 flights for the price of one. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's. I wish it wasn't that expensive, but. No, what's this way? Oh, is this the way to the fortress? Well, like, at least I'm getting a fairly decent vacation out of it. Because that means I'll be gone from July 1st to July 19th. And my first day back to work will be the 20th. So it's kind of like during the down period I'll be gone, so it works out. Yeah, and I'll still have, because I'm only using like 11 days of vacation. Yeah, it's like the longest vacation I've ever had. Probably since I was in school. And definitely the longest trip I've ever taken since actually the last time I went to Europe. And I'll still have like 17 days of vacation to burn aside from that. Because I'm using like 11. So it's like, technically I could stay longer, but then that's just like eating away at my funds. And I'll definitely want to sleep in my own bed after at some point. And to keep her intelligence ahead of the curve so she can keep learning spells. That's not going to work here though, since we're in the fire area. And it'll be very useful for the next area. So honestly, like I might burn a couple to see what DG and they were talking about, because they were talking about doing the Vegas thing. And I usually end up just like giving myself all Fridays off from like, oh shit. Can't believe he hit me with that. From like September to the end of the year. But that'll be nice to like pop a vacation. I wanted to do one more vacation. No, I wanted to go somewhere before going to Europe. I was thinking about doing Mardi Gras, but that's probably not going to happen because my friends here that I was talking about it with are a little tight. And that's literally in 2 days anyway, so at this point now. I might go to Austin and catch up with some friends. I wanted to go back east to New York. And that's why I'm like, I might as well just extend that and stay the whole weekend. Because I plan on doing that anyways. So I might end up taking just a few days here and there, because I was looking at the Cowboys schedule, and they play in, I think they play games in LA and San Francisco and Miami. And I was like, I'm gonna have the vacation days, I might as well use them. So that's what it's looking like. Like about 2 weeks in Paris, a couple days in New York, Vegas. How did I get that one? In Vegas, Miami, LA, and San Francisco. So that's a decent amount of travel. Nice. I've been really bad about that, like, especially since we started working from home. Because it's like, especially that first year, it was like, bro, what am I going to do? Just, like, I can't go anywhere, just using it sitting at the house, and that's basically what it ended up being. See how much it costs here. No, because I can take the turtle and go somewhere else. I will save. Yeah, that's a little too much. That's kind of why I like, at least the Euro trip is, once I get there, it's mostly train up until going back to London and then leaving from London. And even then, that's why I'm thinking about breaking up that the flight to New York and the flight to London. So that's going to be 4 flights. And then if I do Vegas and the 3 NFL games, that's another 8 flights, and that'd be 12 flights in a year. I definitely have not done that in a long time. We're gonna go to the ice area since we have fire spells now. And we might stop in Maya first and use the inn over here since it's cheap as hell. And drop a save here. If you guys really want to be in the way. Oh, no, they already did. Most of them. I have tickets for everything but going from Berlin back to London, as far as transit goes. Yeah, I'll take that 45. That's what I was telling Max. Like the only like accommodations and or travel lacking is Berlin back to London because I already got round trip for here to New York separated by like 3 weeks. And I got New York to London round trip already, and then the trains already like locked in. So that's what I'm lacking is Berlin to London and 2 London hotels for the 2 separate times there. The Berlin hotel and probably a New York hotel. I could crush with a couple of friends, but like they might have work and whatnot, and I might just be in and out. So I'll probably do a hotel or Airbnb or something. I see you sliding in with the points there, Ashley. How are you doing today, Ashley? Keep yourself busy as always, I see. Just finishing up here. Probably gonna go about another 20-30 minutes, and then I'm gonna knock out some stuff here. How the hell do I get on here? Cameo here. Hey, what's going on, Holly? How's the portal going? So I missed it. The hell? I guess that is the only beast I can use. That's weird. Thank you for the points, Hollow. Yeah, I was like, I know there's another beast around here somewhere. There we go. How far are y'all in? Oh, you're already 24%. Oh no, I was looking at how far into that community goal people are getting. They're about what I thought they would be. They're about on pace. 4 weeks and it's 24%. You didn't necessarily need to help them, but I'm sure they appreciate it. I definitely need to buy some more walnuts. Six should be good. And a couple of these. I think I'll need that many of those. That should be fine. Already got this stuff. So, Holly, out of curiosity, and actually, all three of you, four of you, or if you're still here, how many points do you have left at the moment? I'm not going to change the goal, I'm just curious how many points you have. Man's held on to that last 50. Did you just get like one of those clickable rewards too, Hollow? Is that how you got that 50? Oh, that's the thing, Holly. I'm only streaming on Saturday and Sunday. But the calculation I made should make it viable. We'll see. It is. It's a really fun game. That's what I was telling some other people is damn, Keto, just out of nowhere with 2,000. Appreciate it. That Trials of Mana game that Arthur played, this is the original version of it. This is called Seiken Densetsu 3. And it never left Japan. So it's the Not exactly a sequel, but it's the follow-up to Secret of Mana. Yeah, been everywhere around here. And there's no end, it looks like. Oh yeah, there is here. Let me double check that I have a save here. No. We can poke our head around the Sub-Zero snowfield. Yeah, I would eventually actually like to go there, but probably not. I would have liked to have seen the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. That would have been dope. As soon as we get more than one enemy, we can see what that new fire damage spell looks like. Let's go. There we go. Oh, you gotta spell off. I enjoy that amount of damage. Yeah, it should be fun, Holly. Well, I'm a frozen. The healing. Or at least the wizards did. How are you still healing? The face might look something like that, I guess. It'll probably... Yeah, her and her salty ass peanut butter. Let's double up on that fried fish spell. Oh. Our face probably gonna be more like, where is it? Where is it? There you go. Holly, you're fighting in a losing battle. Her piety should be high enough for her next spell. So let me do strength for now. Yep, there you go. Walty heal. What's that thing they say in Game of Thrones? Bend the knee? Gotta bend the knee for no one? I am really enjoying that spell. Let's see what's this way. And I don't mind being in a trap, because I can just do this. Holly, I haven't seen your height since I was like 11 years old. Because I know by 12 I was already 5'6". Yeah, that is a benefit. If the world is not made for people above 5'11", really. Oh, the first time I took a flight by myself, I was already 6 foot. Oh damn, I didn't even see you slide in, PS9. What's going on? No, I can heal everybody. Just so much more useful. Ugh. Let's see how much this heals for. Nice. That is a beautiful heal. And this came enormously more cost effective. Ah, I didn't get him on screen fast enough. Yeah, there's our save point, and it's about time, so. Alright, here. Where is it? Here you go. Holly Max is saying to look into this. Apparently, it's a game museum. It's in Berlin, he said. No. He said video games. Gregory might know about it. Or Tipper. Yeah, 28,000 so far. Did he say? Well, yeah, I'll say it here, but will figure out later where he said he actually is. See if that can be finagled. Let's see who is on. Alright, I am going to take you to raid Shardmonk. He's like a huge Final Fantasy fan. He also does he does like some podcasting. He does, I think he still does Phasmophobia on Saturdays. I know he actually changed that to a different channel of his. And this should work here. Now he's going through the PSP version of Final Fantasy.
Because it doesn't do what I can do naturally, if that makes any sense. Got it!
And I also like it because he's a big sports team. So,
Penance has been fucking destroyed!
I don't know. Yeah, so. Yes,
Now it's your turn, Frank. 6 attempts.
Uh-oh. We're getting tricky.
Thanks y'all for stopping by and indulging me in the little conversation we had about the whole rental house issue.
I'm just gonna try and submit my legacy as one of the best RPG players on Twitch right now.
I need to start making highlights.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for the 100 bits, Legion. Holy shit.
Short discussions and make that into like a small playlist for people that want to go back and look. I've never gotten that far in Final Fantasy X. I think the first I got was the Seymour you face on the Guado Mountain. And that's the first I got. And thanks for stopping by, Holly, and PS9 with the slide in, Key Dog, Ashley, Salila, who I'm sure told a bunch of people to slide in with these points. And Max for the suggestion. I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whatever that's worth. I know some of you it's already pretty much tomorrow. And some of us had a day off tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. So let's go raid Shardmonk. Oh yeah, I forgot. Speaking of, I should probably do that. There you go. If you want to spend your points on something worthwhile, you can unlock an emote. And not save it for any cooking stream. So yeah, use your points on that. Thanks for the prime sub, Ollie. Oh, there's your raid message. And now we're gonna raid Shardmonk. So again, I'll pick this back up next Saturday. Like I said before, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be doing roughly 3 hours of streaming, 3 hours and 15 minutes. I did like close to 3.5 yesterday, so that's why this one is a little bit short. But that's the calculation for giving people the time to make up the points. So I'll see y'all Saturday. Have a good weekend.